The Rescue of Monaluna by Nanny Linda. On a very high mountain with a snow-capped top lived three little Miggelig folk, one of whom fell into this land a long time ago, all because of a silly joke. Monaluna is a Miggelig from the land of the Migglemumps, and she had twins, Noodles and Nork, who are as different as evens and bumps. Monaluna and her twin boys have lived and made a home on this steep and wild mountainside for many years now after Monaluna was dropped into that land after a spiralling whirlwind bumpy ride. She had been out riding on a crystal wind cloud with Perrykinpin, who was the joy and love of her heart, gliding around Migglemump land, exploring all of the unexplored part. Mom Milan had told them to be careful, not to ride the crystal wind cloud too far or too fast, and Popsy Wopsy Jupo had looked at Perrykinpin and said, "You take care of my lovely wee lass." They had stopped here and there and ate plants and flowers and drank water from the clear streams of the land. And they had walked in the bright golden meadows and left Miggelig prints in the white sand. They had ventured far beyond their safe haven before realizing they had traveled too far and were worried that there might be danger in this dark, gloomy land with the black sand and thick bubbling tar. As they were floating back to Migglemumps, a sparkling whirlwind of light spiraled in, and Perrykinpin thought it would be exciting to step in and take a little spin. But the spiralling whirlwind became unbalanced and confused, and Monaluna was thrown into the air, and when she awoke many hours later, Perrykinpin wasn't there. So that was how Monaluna found herself in a strange and different land, all alone without her love Perrykinpin, and no Popsy Wopsy Jupo, and no Mom Milan. Monaluna had made the best of her situation and built a home of mud and stones and a bed of turf on the high mountainside, and watched the clouds and winds day after day, just in case Perrykinpin came floating by. But no crystal wind clouds ever appeared, nor whirlwinds of spiraling light, so Monaluna kept herself searching for food by day and snuggled up tight in her bed of turf at night. Then one day, two little Miggeligs appeared, both with blue eyes and hair of rusty red, and both cried and cried until she cuddled them and kept them warm in her cosy turf bed. As time went by, the twins grew and grew, Noodles up and Nork sideways and out. Noodles had a long face, arms and legs, and Nork was dumpy and stout. Noodles was always very sensible and had ways of problem solving and was calm, while Nork was funny, happy, jolly and strong, and could chop down a tree with an axe using only one arm. They all lived contentedly together, but Monaluna never gave up hope of returning home, so always kept an eye overhead on the air, winds and sky, wherever they ventured and roamed. All this time, Perrykinpin was consulting with the chief elders in Migglemump land, and a rescue mission was eventually organized to find the whirlwind in the gloomy area of bubbling tar and black sand. So Perrykinpin made the journey, and when he arrived, he rested underneath the Whirlwind tree and picked a ziggy pear fruit from a low-hung branch, as he knew it held good magic and mystery. "What do you require of me?" asked the Whirlwind tree. "Why have you eaten my fruit?" "I desperately need some advice," Perrykinpin pleaded, "to find the spiraling whirlwind's travel route." "You have just missed her today," the tree told him, "but tomorrow she will again whirl this way." So Perrykinpin lay down and waited all that night and into the next day. Perrykinpin heard the whirlwind before he saw her as she spiraled into view. "Wait, oh wait, please," shouted Perrykinpin. "I have a huge favor to ask of you." "I see you," shouted the whirlwind, angrily spiraling in the air. Why are you hiding under the Whirlwind tree? Did you call me by eating the ziggy fruit pear? Yes, I did, said Perrykinpin. I hoped it would call out to you. Do you remember a long time ago taking Monaluna and transporting her to somewhere new? The angry whirlwind flustered and blustered and said, I do remember being heavier and out of sorts that one time. If I remember correctly, it was when I was flying over a mountain and I had to stop on the mountainside. And I wondered why I felt so different that time, like my wind had run out of whirl. You mean to tell me I was carrying a Miggelig and she is your special girl? Well now, you just let me retrace my flight on that eventful day, and I'll try to go back and find her and bring her home to stay. So Whirlwind spiraled and whizzed away over mountains high and through valleys low, keeping a lookout everywhere as she travelled as far as she could go. At this very same moment, Monaluna was sat looking into the sky, wondering if a crystal cloud or spiraling whirlwind would ever catch her eye. Then all at once they spied each other, and Monaluna screamed with sheer delight, Hey there, Whirlwind, remember me? You once carried me in a very bumpy flight. Whirlwind came into land and hovered at Monaluna's side and said, My deepest apologies that I took you for such an unfortunate ride. Can you take me home again, and also my boys, Noodles and Nork? They haven't ever met their father or seen Migglemump land before. I can and I will, so all of you come and stand together side by side, and you have my word, and rest assured we'll be home by eventide. It was a slower, heavier journey, whirling home, and at times she thought she would break. But Whirlwind huffed and puffed and struggled on. She was determined to amend her mistake. And sure enough, just at eventide, Whirlwind dropped her passengers in Migglemump land, right beside the Whirlwind tree and the thick bubbling tar and black sand. Perrykinpin had been waiting anxiously and had watched the whirlwind spiral in from above, and he ran towards Monaluna and hugged her tight, expressing his love. Then he noticed Noodles and Nork approach Monaluna and stand protectively by her side. Who are your travelling companions? He asked. Are they friends or just sharing a ride? When Monaluna explained the situation, Perrykinpin was in total shock and disbelief, and felt so ashamed and sorrowful for ever causing her such grief. They all sat for a while under the Whirlwind tree and ate the ziggy fruit pear, and Perrykinpin was introduced to his twin sons Noodles and Nork with the long red ginger hair. The situation was tense and anxious, as Noodles and Nork hadn't met many other people before, but Perrykinpin assured them both that they had his protection and everything they needed and more. It was amazing how the twins had grown so quickly, as Monaluna had only been away from home for a couple of years. But Migglemumps grow very quickly, especially their hair and their ears. Then Perrykinpin said to Monaluna, I'll summon a crystal wind cloud to take us home, and we can continue our long overdue talk. No, said Monaluna, after the flying experiences that I have had, I think I'd rather walk.